They're allowed to see the human side of us. Hi, we're all human. What? What? Are you really? Katrina, you had a question.
Okay, well. Okay, I'm trying to formulate in my mind so it'll make sense.
Oh.
But this week, in conversations with people, the conversation keeps leading that I see you differently than what you see yourself. Or other people say, well, a lot of times people see you differently than you see yourself. So, going back to me, or if it's the image, I'm just trying to understand, what does that mean? Because I'm understanding how I'm seeing myself, but when someone else says that, do you see what I'm trying to say?
So they're saying they see you differently than
I see myself. But if I'm mirror reflecting, what does that mean?
Are they seeing themselves different?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, it's like she talked about before, each person sees this in a different way, okay? So it's not a clear translation of anything, okay?
Right.
If it's you going through somebody else and coming back to you, that's going to be different than just your perception of you.
But
Okay.
is that what I'm
But
doing?
it's all image, is
Yes.
what she's saying.
Okay,
Your image
so
of
it is
yourself,
all
their
image.
image of you, it's all image, okay? But what's the real you?
Right. In the two interactions, you're both learning from each other.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Okay.
So whatever they say about you is for your truth in that moment to discern that, to understand that. And know whatever that decision is your truth at the time. Be okay and keep going in the moment. Because if you stop on it and go, wait a minute, I'm not sure, what did they say? And then you're trying to sustain an image for acceptance of them because you weren't sure what they said and how it quirked with you, so to speak. Make the understanding what it is as your truth and move on. And if it needs to be further light shed on it, it'll come again.
Right.
Trust that moment. And they are their own reflection at that time as well.
Right. Okay.
Because if they're looking at you and say, you're not what you think you are, or you don't appear as what you are, or you've changed, or whatever they're saying to you, aren't they saying that to themselves? Yes.
It's like in the conversations, it doesn't even get that far.
That's
know what I
okay,
mean?
but that's okay.
So that's why I was just like, well, what does that mean?
Well, stop trying to find a definitive answer to everything that comes into your life. Understand what it is, that your ability to decipher that, discern that, and understand that to that moment, and move on. If there's further knowledge, once again, it'll come. But if you harp on it and stay on it and look for a resolve that you can categorize to the image, then realize that you're trying to do that to be okay in order to move on. Make sense?
Yes.
I think so. What do you think? I think so. I think it's awesome. All right, we have a guest speaker. I don't know who it is. We'll find out. Hang on, coffee. Coffee. Is it good?
Yeah.
Okay. The approach to life. That's the impartation we'd like to give you today, is the approach to life. It's all about approach. It's all about approach to the moment. If the paradigm of approach is what you would call already predetermined to that moment, then is that not a continuation of limitation? Yes. It's the approach that you need to understand. How I'm going to go into this moment of understanding. that very second of changing the approach, so to speak, changes that moment. So let's talk about approach. Hi. They say hello. When you contact with the word hi, the moment is alive. The communication has started. But realize before you said hello to an interaction, before you started typing an email, before you made the phone call in contact, the approach is present. So that approach determines the now. Because that is the now to the next now, is it not? We want you to understand when you are vibrating, naturally, way up there, all of your approaches change the vibration. In other words, it's like this. I see somebody, my vibration changes according to my definition of that person, doesn't it? Are you guys paying attention to the now? I know you guys, as a collective, are doing this. Categorizing, relating to experience what that person is immediately. You are pulling all your files and quickly assessing what this situation is going to be. You are changing the approach with image, with experience. And as that approach changes, your natural vibration is lowered. In lowering it, it changes the now of interaction. It has to, because your approach changed according to what you thought. And what you thought is experience, is definition, is categorization, is experience once again to what you have learned already. It must be like this. Because that's what it was before. We love that word before because it gives us the security of what probably will happen. And if something changes in my life, I don't like it. Because then I don't have security. And fear drops in its heavy weight and changes your entire moment with the thousands of probabilities of fear that you've already set up for you to realize. Approach. Let's go here. Immediately, if you are familiar with where here is, you are already classifying, judging, compartmentalizing the outcome. Do you realize how much you change your approach from now? Based on the past. Based on experience. Based on shoulda, coulda, woulda. All the time. The now is free. It always has been, it always will be. It is free for change to occur. because we are here to experience all. And with limitation, change is not possible. Change into limitation is what is. But change of freedom of the now is limited just from your approach. Interesting. We like this concept, for it focuses you on your words, your intentions, your thoughts, if you're truly paying attention to the now. Because in the now is creativity. It's your PowerPoint, your realization of existence. You're knowing that you're alive. Every now is life. Realize your approach to the now is life. Approach it with freedom of change, delving into the unknown, adventuring into fear. But that is adventure. And adventure is what you're all about. For the endless universes that are upon this plane alone is all of you and all of your creativity. Can you fathom for a second if you weren't, as a collective, as an individual, as an entity, as the creator, limited, fearful? Can you fathom that how much we wouldn't have if you weren't the adventurers you are? If your approach to the moment is happiness, joy, excitement, trust, no fear, Creator, God, Jesus. If you approach every moment as that, could your adventure not be those things? Because the approach is the now. The now is creativity of the approach. The magical approach, we call it. Because it is magical, it is unknown. And yes, it will bring up fear, it will bring up doubt, but isn't that what you're shedding? So why shy away from it? Because it is fear, it is unknown. I can't have new. I can't have change. I'm scared. Scared of what? Equality with all? Scared of what? The Creator that you are? If that fear is there, and that is now, your now, doesn't that change the approach to the next now? It creates fear. It creates doubt. And there is no such thing as fear except in imagination. There is no fear in the now. If there is truly something to fear that changes in the danger, it's no longer fear, it's danger. And danger is easy. If you approach it from love, then there is no danger. Vibrate in love, vibrate in joy, vibrate in ecstasy, vibrate in happiness, your natural vibration. At any given point of all of your nows. And all of your approaches are the result of that vibration. What are you going to get? Joy, ecstasy, happy. All the time. And as the friction occurs because of your approaches, rejoice in that friction. For that exposes what you are to yourself. And then if you have been paying attention, to the ascension ideas that the collective of all have given you. Be honest. Trust what you are. Become what you are. Accept what you are. And then acceptance becomes knowing. Then knowing becomes wisdom. And then you move on. What do I mean by wisdom? Let me give you a simplicity understanding. I dare say everybody here knows 2 times 2. You don't need to be taught how to multiply the number 2 times 2 ever again. It is wisdom. So your higher self will never give you the understanding of how to learn 2 times 2 since you already know it. It is you. It is wisdom in you. Are you following? The parallel is whatever experience you have that you become, that you know that you are, then it becomes wisdom. And wisdom doesn't repeat itself because we are adventurers of the unknown. In adventuring of the unknown, we're not going to seek the known, for it's already known. But yet repetition is rampant. Why do we keep repeating? You know why. Again, image, self, security. Definition of who you are. To the outside for comfort. For being okay. But all of you chose to be here for the Ascension. Make the choice. Get busy. Or not. Either way, we love you. That was Patricia from Centurion Oversoul. Thank you all for vibrating to bring her in. She's off to other work. So we understand living in the now. Now we would like you to understand, if you choose, the approach to the now determines the now. So we are actually being before the now. Because you guys, as a collective, humanity, have time. In time, it works against you, but it also works for you. For there is a delay. And in that delay, you have time to change your approach, don't you? When you understand, if you're in observation of yourself, in all nows, that approach, you can see, feel, and understand before the interaction takes place, before the email is written, before the phone call, the text, before all that understanding, you can see your preconditioning to that moment of interaction in observation of that now, which is the approach to the now. The approach is what you can change. And when you have positive vibration of your natural self, which you are every single second, actually quicker than that, but we don't have a description for it. So, you are already always at your highest vibration. The limitation of you is what drops it right away. Changing the approach of the now. Stay as high, positive, happy, ecstasy, joy, God, love, however you choose to vibrate that you trust, not doubt. If it's small, it's small, even if it's hope. Realize that changes the next now, because the approach to the now changes the next now, because you're bringing that vibration into the next now, and in that interaction creates the next now as whatever the approach is. The idea is to keep the consistency going of that approach. Happy, 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 happy. Joy, 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 joy. That's what we want to tell you. So understand that we want to get a series of now in a period of time, okay, of a high vibration, so you can feel in your conscience that it's real. Once you see that, the trust is raised, as well as your consistent vibration. In that consistency, you are allowing yourself to challenge yourself to more interactions with freedom instead of limitation of whatever you define that interaction as. Seeing a person, seeing a store, oh, it doesn't look good. That doesn't sound good. Are you kidding? How do you not adventure into anything that's in your moment? Really think about that. Goes back to the old thing. You're the only one here. Every moment is synchronistically put together. Tie all this together. See how you are truly challenging yourself every single moment, and the higher vibration changes to the parallel reality of the continuation of that vibration. And as the, what you call friction, pain arises, the I don't like this arises, that's the understanding of yourself. That you honestly can observe and make the choice to become that or hide from it again and again and again all the time. Or become that knowledge, acceptance, wisdom, and move on in the continued vibration of that clarity that you just received to the next moment, to the next moment, to the next moment. You will plateau instead of shifting up and down.